The sky above New York lit up with strange lights. It was not fireworks or lightning. Something big was coming to Earth. Captain James Miller stood on the roof of the International Space Defense Force headquarters, watching the alien ship descend. His face showed no fear, only focus. At 42, Miller had seen many things in his military career, but nothing like this. "Captain, the President is on the line," said his assistant, handing him a secure phone. Miller nodded. "Yes, Madam President. I see it too." The ship was massive. About the size of 3 football fields, it hovered quietly, defying gravity in a way human technology couldn't match. After decades of wondering if aliens existed, humanity finally had its answer. 3 days earlier, radio telescopes around the world had picked up the signal. A clear message in multiple Earth languages. "We come as representatives of the Galactic Council. Prepare for diplomatic contact." The world's leaders had quickly appointed Miller to lead the response team. With him were Anna Taylor, Earth's top diplomat, and Dr. Thomas Reed, a brilliant scientist who had studied possible alien life for decades. "They're sending down a smaller craft," said Dr. Reed, pointing at a light separating from the mothership. "Fascinating design. Nothing like our ships." Taylor straightened her jacket. "Remember the plan. We listen more than we speak. We give away nothing until we understand what they want." The small alien craft landed softly in the cleared area of Central Park. TV cameras broadcast the moment to billions of humans watching around the world. Miller led his team forward as the craft's door slid open. The alien that stepped out looked almost human, but not quite. It stood tall with blue-tinted skin, large eyes, and 6 fingers on each hand. It wore a simple white robe with strange symbols. "I am Rix, Ambassador of the Galactic Council," it said in perfect English. "We govern 27 advanced species across the galaxy. It is time for Earth to join our community." Miller stepped forward. "Captain James Miller, we welcome you to Earth." The meeting moved to the United Nations building. There, Rix revealed the Council's true purpose. "We have watched Earth for centuries," Rix explained to the room of world leaders. "You have developed quickly but remain a level 2 species on our scale." "And what does that mean?" asked Taylor, noticing the slight look of superiority in Rix's expression. Rix displayed a hologram of the galaxy. "The Council offers Earth protected status. We will establish research outposts. Humans will be confined to development zones while we study your culture. It is a great honor." The room fell silent. Miller and Taylor exchanged looks. "This sounds more like a zoo than an honor," Miller said quietly. Rix smiled, showing teeth too perfect to be natural. "Many species would be grateful for our protection. The galaxy is dangerous for primitive worlds." Dr. Reed stepped forward. "And if we decline this protection? Unfortunate incidents have occurred to worlds that rejected Council guidance," Rix said. "We would hate to see Earth suffer similar fates." President Garcia stood up. "We will need time to consider your offer." "Of course," Rix replied. "You have 1 Earth month to prepare your official response. I will remain in orbit to answer questions and guide your transition to protected status." After the meeting, Miller, Taylor, and Reed gathered in a secure room deep below the Pentagon. "This isn't a diplomatic offer. It's an ultimatum," Taylor said, pacing the room. Reed nodded. "I detected energy readings from their ship that suggest weapons far beyond our capabilities." Miller stared at the satellite images of the alien mothership. "We need to know more about this council and what really happens to protected worlds." "I have contacts in the intelligence community who can help," Taylor said. "But we'll need to be careful. I suspect Rix is watching our every move." 1 month, Miller said. 1 month to decide the fate of our entire species. None of them slept that night. The countdown to humanity's greatest challenge had begun. Miller walked through the underground bunker where Earth's leaders had gathered in secret. 2 weeks had passed since Rix's arrival. On the surface, Earth appeared to be considering the Council's offer. In reality, they were preparing for the worst. Our official talks with Ricks continue, Taylor explained to the room. We ask many questions and pretend to be interested in their protection. President Garcia nodded. And what have you learned? Miller stepped forward and displayed images on the large screen. Thanks to Dr. Reed, we've hacked into some of Ricks's communications. The truth about protected worlds is not good. The screen showed planets with large fenced areas. Alien beings lived in what looked like reservations. These are Level 2 species who accepted Council protection, Miller explained. They live in controlled zones while Council scientists study them like animals. They can't develop new technology or expand. After a few generations, most lose hope. And those who fought back? Asked the Chinese premier. Miller changed the image. Now they saw planets with massive craters. The Council calls it pacification. We call it genocide. The room fell silent. We have 2 weeks left, said Miller. And we have a plan. Dr. Reed took over. I've made an important discovery about humans compared to Council species. He showed a chart of different alien body types. Most Council races evolved on low-gravity planets. Earth's gravity is higher than 90% of inhabited worlds. What does that mean for us? Asked the Russian president. It means we're stronger than they expect, Reed said with a smile. Our muscles and bones develop to fight against Earth's pull. What feels normal to us would crush many of them. Taylor added, and that's not all. I've made contact with a group called the Resistance. They are beings from other worlds who fight against Council rule. She showed a message from someone called Vox. It contained details about Council ships, weapons, and tactics. Their leader Vox has offered to help us, Taylor said. They've never found another species willing to stand up to the Council. Miller pointed to a map of Earth. While these talks continue, every major nation is building these. He showed designs for weapons and ships unlike anything Earth had created before. We're not trying to copy Council technology, Reed explained. We're using Earth tech in ways they won't expect. They think we're primitive, so they won't recognize the danger. Miller demonstrated a simple device. This looks like a regular microwave part, but we've modified it to disable their ship sensors. We're making thousands of these from normal kitchen appliances. President Garcia looked concerned. Can we really win against beings who control most of the galaxy? We don't need to defeat their entire empire, Miller said. We just need to make protecting Earth too costly. The Council has never faced serious resistance from a Level 2 world. They don't know what humans can do when threatened. Taylor's phone beeped. Ricks is requesting another meeting. They're getting suspicious about our military movements. Tell him we're just doing routine exercises, Miller said. We need more time. As the meeting ended, Dr. Reed pulled Miller aside. I've been studying their biology too. They have weaknesses we can exploit. Such as? Miller asked. Their eyes evolved for dim starlight. Earth's sun is brighter than what they're used to. And our oceans. Reed smiled. Most Council species evolved on dry worlds. They fear deep water. They can't even swim. Miller looked at the map of Earth, which was 70% covered in water. For the first time since Ricks arrived, he felt real hope. 2 more weeks, he said. Then we show the Council what humanity can do when pushed too far. The day of Earth's deadline arrived. The world's leaders gathered at the United Nations to give their answer to Ricks and the Galactic Council. Miller stood at attention behind President Garcia. Taylor sat at the negotiation table, documents spread before her. Dr. Reed monitored signals from the alien ships on his tablet. All 3 knew what was about to happen. Ambassador Ricks, Taylor began. Earth has carefully considered your offer of protected status. Ricks smiled with confidence. The Council is pleased. Your transition to our care will begin immediately. Actually, Taylor said, sliding a document across the table, we have a counter-proposal. Earth requests equal status and fair treatment within your galactic community. Ricks's smile vanished. That is not possible. You are a Level 2 species. "We believe your classification system is flawed," Taylor continued calmly. "We ask for 30 more days to demonstrate why humans deserve full rights." Rick stood up. "I will take this to the council, though I warn you they will not be pleased." The alien left the room quickly. As soon as the door closed, Miller's radio buzzed. "Captain, we're detecting energy buildups in the alien fleet. They're powering weapons." Miller turned to President Garcia. "It's happening, just as we predicted." Reed's tablet flashed red. "Massive energy signatures. They're targeting our military bases worldwide." "Execute Operation Thunderstorm," ordered President Garcia. Across the globe, military personnel who had been secretly evacuated from their bases watched from safe locations as brilliant beams of light struck empty buildings. The council had launched their attack without waiting for an answer. "All defense systems online," reported Miller. "Countermeasures ready." In orbit, the council ships moved into attack formation. They didn't notice the thousands of small objects rising from Earth's oceans, converted civilian boats and submarines now equipped with weapons based on modified Earth technology. "First wave, engage," ordered Miller. The council ships fired again, but their energy weapons performed poorly in Earth's thick atmosphere. Meanwhile, Earth's defenders launched their first surprise: simple railguns firing metal projectiles at incredible speeds, guided by repurposed GPS systems. A council ship exploded as metal slugs tore through its hull. The aliens had expected energy weapons and were prepared for them. They hadn't expected such primitive physical attacks. "They're regrouping," said Reed, watching his screen. "Their shields are adapting, but they're confused by our tactics." Miller led a squadron of converted passenger jets, now armed with missiles containing the microwave technology Reed had developed. They approached a council command ship from below, hidden by the ocean's reflection. "Fire," ordered Miller. The missiles didn't explode. Instead, they attached to the council ship's hull and emitted focused microwave pulses that disrupted the alien ship's communication systems. The massive vessel drifted, unable to coordinate with the rest of the fleet. "Miller to all units, target the disabled command ship," he ordered. A barrage of railgun fire from ocean platforms tore through the helpless ship. It broke apart in a spectacular explosion that lit up the sky. "First major victory," cheered Reed over the radio. On his screen, he could see council ships retreating to higher orbits, out of range of Earth's makeshift weapons. Taylor rushed into the command center. "Miller, I just received a message from Vox. The council is calling for reinforcements. They're classifying this as a full rebellion." Miller nodded grimly. "They expected us to surrender or be destroyed in the first attack. They never thought we'd be ready." "What now?" asked President Garcia. "Now we move to Phase 2, said Miller. "They'll return with more ships, thinking they just need more firepower, but we'll be ready with more surprises." Reed looked up from his tablet with a smile. The council's biggest mistake was thinking humans would follow the same patterns as other species they conquered. They never expected Earth's fury. "And they're about to learn what happens when you threaten humanity," Miller added, watching the burning wreckage of the council command ship fall through Earth's atmosphere like a shooting star. 2 weeks after the first battle, the council returned with 3 times as many ships. They expected to crush Earth's defenses quickly. They were wrong. Miller stood on the deck of a submarine in the Pacific Ocean. Unlike traditional military subs, this was a converted cruise ship that now served as an underwater command center. Around him, similar vessels hid beneath the waves worldwide. "Status report," Miller called out. "Council ships are in position," reported his second-in-command. "They're targeting major cities now, not just military bases." "They're getting desperate," Miller said. "Deploy the jammers." Across Earth, thousands of small devices activated. Dr. Reed had created them from modified cell phones and radio parts. They disrupted the council's targeting systems just enough to make precision strikes impossible. "Sir, incoming transmission from Anna Taylor," said the communications officer. Taylor's face appeared on screen. She was in a hidden bunker with Resistance leader Vox, a tall alien with gray skin and determined eyes. "Miller, good news," Taylor said. "Vox has coordinated uprisings on 7 other Council-controlled worlds. The Council is being forced to split their forces." Vox nodded. "Your resistance has inspired others. Many worlds watched what happened during the first battle. They no longer fear the Council as they once did." "We need to keep the pressure on," Miller replied. "Reed, how's your virus coming along?" Dr. Reed appeared in another window, looking tired but excited. "It's ready. The virus can infiltrate Council ships through their communication systems. Once inside, it disrupts their navigation controls." "Perfect," said Miller. "Launch it during our next attack." That night, Earth struck back. Small, fast boats darted out from coastal hideouts. Converted passenger planes launched from hidden jungle runways. Each carried weapons designed specifically to confuse Council technology. Reed's virus spread from ship to ship through the Council fleet. Alien vessels began drifting out of formation, their navigation systems showing false information. "They're blind," Miller told his attack teams. "Hit them now, then disappear." Earth forces struck quickly, targeting engines and weapon systems before retreating to the safety of the oceans. The Council ships fired back, but their shots went wide, hitting empty ocean, or, sometimes, their own vessels. From his command ship on the edge of the solar system, Council Commander Dex watched in growing frustration. "How are these primitives defeating our advanced technology?" he demanded. His science officer looked worried. "Sir, they're not fighting like any Level 2 species we've encountered. Our standard protocols are useless against their tactics. They hide in their oceans between attacks," said another officer. "Our sensors can't penetrate the deeper waters." Dex slammed his fist on his control panel. "Then we'll boil their oceans away." "Sir," interrupted his second-in-command, "3 more Council worlds have reported rebellions, and the High Council is questioning our handling of the Earth situation." Dex's eyes narrowed. "Tell them we need more ships." Back on Earth, Miller met with Taylor and Reed in their underwater base. "The Council is fighting among themselves," Taylor reported. "Some members think attacking Earth was a mistake." Reed showed them data on his tablet. "Their weapons are designed for space battles, not Earth conditions. Our atmosphere weakens their energy beams, and our gravity affects their ship's maneuverability. And they hate water," Miller added with a smile. "3/4 of our planet is their worst nightmare." "We've destroyed 30 of their ships and damaged many more," Reed said. "But they're still bringing in reinforcements." Miller looked at the map showing Council positions. "We can't beat them with force alone. We need to show them that conquering Earth will cost too much." "I have an idea," Taylor said. "Vox tells me the Council has never faced a situation like this. They're following an old playbook that doesn't work against humans." "So we keep changing the rules," Miller said. "Reed, what else can we throw at them that they won't expect?" Reed grinned. "I've been studying captured Council technology. I think we can adapt it to our own systems, create hybrid weapons that combine our strengths with their advanced tech." "Do it," Miller ordered. "The Council thought they were hunting easy prey. Let's show them they've actually cornered a wolf." 3 months into the war, the Council still couldn't understand why they were losing to a primitive Level 2 species. What they failed to see was humanity's greatest strength: adaptability. Dr. Reed stood in his underground laboratory, surrounded by captured alien technology. Teams of scientists from around the world worked day and night, taking apart Council devices and combining them with human tech. "Captain Miller, you need to see this," Reed said when Miller entered the lab. Reed pointed to a device that looked like a mix between a satellite dish and a microwave. "We've reverse-engineered their shield technology. We can now protect our cities from their energy weapons." Miller examined the device. "How soon can we deploy them?" "We already have. 50 major cities now have protection shields. We used cell phone towers to hold the emitters." Miller smiled. "Perfect. What else have you got? Reed led him to another section of the lab where a sleek aircraft sat. This is what I'm really excited about. We've combined our jet engines with their anti-gravity tech. These ships can now travel to space. We're taking the fight to them, Miller realized. Exactly. In the war room nearby, Anna Taylor was in a video call with representatives from 12 alien species that had joined Earth's rebellion. The Council has never faced this kind of united resistance, said Vox. Their whole system is based on keeping species separate and controlled. And they're especially confused by humans, added another alien leader named Krill. Your species adapts faster than any they've encountered. Most Council species evolve for specific environments with specific advantages. Taylor nodded. While humans evolved as generalists, we can survive almost anywhere and use almost anything. It terrifies them, Vox said with something like a smile. Just then, alarms sounded throughout the base. Miller rushed into the room. The Council has attacked Mars, he announced. They used their planet killer weapon. Screens showed Mars with a massive new crater on its surface. It's a warning, Taylor said quietly. They're telling us they'll do the same to Earth if we don't surrender. But they won't, Miller replied confidently. Mars is uninhabited. Earth has something they want. Us. They need humans alive for their research. Reed entered, looking worried. The planet killer requires 3 days to recharge. They could still destroy major landmasses to force our surrender. Then we don't give them 3 days, Miller decided. It's time for Operation Uprising. The next day, 100 of Earth's new hybrid spacecraft left the atmosphere, joined by ships from rebel alien worlds. Their target, the Council's command fleet. In his flagship, Council Commander Dex was furious. How do these humans have spaceships? They barely reached their own moon before we arrived. His science officer studied the readings. Sir, they've combined our technology with theirs. These are hybrid vessels. Impossible. Level 2 species can't understand our technology enough to adapt it. The humans are different, the science officer insisted. They don't specialize like most species. They're generalists who can take ideas from many sources. Dex watched as the human fleet approached. Launch all fighters. Destroy them. But the human ships moved in unexpected ways, using both Council anti-gravity tech and powerful Earth rocket engines. They accelerated faster than Council pilots could track. Miller led the attack from the front. Target their planet killer weapon first, he ordered. Earth's hybrid vessels swarmed the massive Council weapon ship. Its defenses were designed to stop energy attacks, not the physical missiles humans preferred. The huge ship shuddered as explosions rippled across its surface. Sir, we've lost the planet killer. An officer reported to Dex. How? How? Dex screamed. On his own ship, Miller watched as the Council fleet fell into disarray. Without the threat of the planet killer, they were just another fleet, large but not unstoppable. Phase 2, Miller ordered. Deploy Reed's surprise. Across the battlefield, small devices attached to Council ships. Each contained a simple Earth technology. Electromagnets. The powerful magnets disrupted delicate Council navigation systems, causing ships to drift into each other. Humans truly are remarkable, Vox said, fighting alongside Miller. Where Council species see limitations, you see opportunities. Miller nodded. That's always been humanity's greatest strength. We don't accept the impossible. We just haven't figured out how to do it yet. The destruction of the planet killer weapon shocked the Galactic Council. For the first time in thousands of years, they faced a real threat to their power. This ends now, declared Grand Admiral Zet, the highest military leader of the Council. I will lead the Grand Armada myself to crush these humans once and for all. The Grand Armada was the Council's ultimate weapon. Thousands of warships that had never been defeated. As they gathered near Jupiter, the massive fleet blocked the light of the distant sun. In the war room on Earth, Miller, Taylor, and Reed watched the enemy forces arrive. There must be 5,000 ships, Taylor said quietly. Reed nodded. More than we've ever faced. Our shields won't hold against that many. Miller studied the tactical display. Then we need to make sure they don't all attack at once. Are the wormhole disruptors ready? Yes, Reed answered. Once activated, they'll prevent Council reinforcements from jumping into our solar system. But we've only got one shot at this. Taylor looked at a message on her tablet. Vox reports that half the galaxy's protected species have joined our coalition. They're ready to attack Council holdings across the galaxy when we give the signal. Good, said Miller. The Council will have to split their forces. The next day, Earth launched every ship it had. A fleet of 300 hybrid vessels, supported by thousands of smaller fighters. Miller led from the command ship, Defiance, with Reed controlling their special weapons. This is Captain Miller to all ships, he said over the radio. Today we fight not just for Earth, but for every world the Council has ever bullied or controlled. Remember your training and stick to the plan. The human fleet seemed tiny compared to the Grand Armada. Grand Admiral Zet watched them approach with contempt. These primitives think they can stand against us, he sneered. All ships prepare to fire. But just as the Grand Armada moved into attack position, Reed activated the wormhole disruptors. Huge energy fields spread across the solar system, cutting off the Council's reinforcement routes. Phase 1 complete, Reed reported. They're trapped here with us. Taylor sent the signal to Vox and their allies. Across the galaxy, protected worlds rose up against their Council overlords. Reports flooded into Grand Admiral Zet's command ship. Sir, we're getting distress calls from 27 systems, an officer shouted. Council stations are under attack everywhere. Zet ignored them. Focus on Earth. Once they fall, the others will lose hope. The battle in Earth's solar system began. Council ships fired their energy weapons, while Earth vessels responded with their hybrid technology. The space around Jupiter lit up with explosions and weapons fire. For the first hour, the battle seemed hopeless for Earth. Despite clever tactics, they were simply outnumbered. One by one, human ships were damaged or destroyed. We've lost a third of our fleet, reported Miller's second-in-command. We can't hold much longer. Miller looked at Reed. It's time for our secret weapon. Reed nodded and opened a secure channel. Activating Project Trojan. 3 months earlier, Dr. Reed had discovered something important about Council technology. All their ships used the same basic automation systems. While the Council had been attacking Earth, Reed had been secretly planting a special code in every piece of Council technology they captured. Now that code activated. Across the battlefield, nearly half the Council ships suddenly powered down their weapons. Control panels went dark as the ships drifted helplessly. What's happening? Zet demanded as even his own flagship's lights flickered. His chief engineer looked horrified. Sir, someone has reprogrammed our automation systems. The ships are shutting down. Impossible, Zet shouted. These are primitive humans. Miller watched as confusion spread through the enemy fleet. All ships, attack now. Target their active vessels first. Earth's fleet surged forward, joined by rebel ships from other worlds. They concentrated their fire on the Council ships that were still operational. Sir, we're being surrounded, an officer told Zet as the human fleet encircled his command ship. For the first time in his long life, the Grand Admiral felt fear. The impossible was happening. Humans, mere level 2 primitives, had outsmarted the mighty Galactic Council. Grand Admiral Zet's command ship drifted powerless, surrounded by Earth vessels. For the first time in Council history, their Grand Armada had been defeated. Sir, we've lost control of half our fleet, reported Zet's second-in-command. The rest are taking heavy damage. We should surrender. Never. Zet slammed his fist down. The Council does not surrender to primitives. On the bridge of the Defiance, Miller watched the disabled Council flagship. Captain, we have targeting solutions for all their critical systems, said his weapons officer. One word, and we end this. Miller considered the option. They could destroy the Council leadership with a single command. After all the destruction the Council had caused across the galaxy, many would say it was justice. No, Miller decided. Open a channel to Admiral Zet. Zet's angry face appeared on screen. Have you called to accept our terms of surrender, human? Miller smiled. Actually, I'm offering you terms. Your ships are disabled. Your reinforcements are cut off. The choice is simple. End this war now, or we'll be forced to destroy your command ship. You would not dare, Zet snarled. The same way we wouldn't dare fight back against your initial attack. Miller asked calmly. The same way we wouldn't dare adapt your technology. The same way we wouldn't dare unite the galaxy against you. You've been wrong about humans at every step. Admiral. Taylor stepped forward. We don't want to destroy you. We want to create something better than your Council ever was. For a long moment, Zet said nothing. Then his shoulders slumped slightly. What are your terms? 1 hour later, Miller, Taylor, and Reed met with Zet and other Council leaders on a neutral ship. Representatives from 20 alien species joined them. Our terms are simple, Taylor explained. The Council's species-based hierarchy ends today. We propose a new galactic confederation where all intelligent species have equal representation, regardless of their technological level. Impossible, said one Council member. Some species are naturally superior to others. Are they? Reed asked. This war has proven otherwise. Your superior Council was defeated by what you called a primitive level 2 species. Vox spoke up. Many Council species support this change. The old system has failed us all. Most of the Council representatives reluctantly nodded in agreement. Only Zet remained defiant. I will not surrender to. He began, but was interrupted by his own officers. Sir, the crew supports the peace terms, said his second-in-command. This war is over. Zet looked around, realizing he had lost the support of even his own people. With a final angry glare at the humans, he stormed out of the room. 1 year later, Miller stood in the Grand Hall of the new Galactic Confederation headquarters. Representatives from over 100 species had gathered for the first official assembly. I never thought I'd see this day, said Vox, standing beside him. So many worlds free to determine their own futures. Miller nodded. It wasn't just Earth's victory. It was everyone who ever resisted Council rule. Across the room, Dr. Reed was deep in conversation with scientists from a dozen worlds, sharing ideas and technology freely for the first time. At the center of the hall, Taylor was being sworn in as the first chair of the Confederation. No longer would any single species dominate the others. Each world would have an equal voice. Captain Miller, said a small alien child, approaching shyly. I'm from Nexus 7. My grandparents told me stories about how you helped free our world from Council control. They say without Earth, we would still be prisoners. Miller knelt down to the child's level. Earth didn't do it alone. Every world that stood up to the Council helped create this new beginning. Will there be more wars? The child asked. Miller looked around at the diverse gathering. Former enemies now working together. There will always be conflicts, but now we'll face them together as equals. As the ceremony began, Miller thought about humanity's journey. From a single protected planet to the architects of a new galactic order. The Council had never expected Earth's fury, but it was humanity's compassion and vision that had truly changed the galaxy forever.